Two truths and a lie. Dick Grayson is actually Batman 2.0. 2. Raven and Rachel are actually... Rose and Rachel are actually the best duo in Titans. And 3. My name is Chauncey K. Robinson. This is the Titans After Show. Let's get into it.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What up, guys? What up? What up? We're here at the Titans After Show. This is Season 2, Episode 3, titled Ghost. Before we get into it, I'm going to introduce, my name is Jeff. I am your host, and I am with Chauncey K. Robinson, who is a Rotten Tomatoes film critic. So you're doing big things. So I know who to talk to when I need to talk about films, like which one to go to and everything. That's really dope.
Yeah, and I'm glad to be back here, y'all. Season 2. I'm sorry, I missed the first 2 episodes, but, I was excited about the, opening, and I'm excited to be back here to talk about all the things Titans.
And we're excited to have you. We're excited to have the rest of the crew back. We should all be back next week. So it'll be a good time, but... Let's get into this episode. There was so much to talk about. During this after show, we're going to talk about everything from the old Titans, how they're coming back, trying to fight Dr. Light, the new Titans trying to find their way in the group. Are they in the group? Are they Titans? Where they actually are? And then what's going on with Corey and her old flame soldier?
That guy.
That guy. That guy. That is the actual name. We're going to get all into that. We got a special segment. We got news and gossip. We have a lot of things going on. So before we get into everything, what were your overall thoughts?
I enjoyed this episode. I think it was finally great to see Deathstroke, the idea of him being a maniacal kind of villain. Because I was a little worried when I heard he was going to be the villain of this season. I'm like, okay, but we had Trigon, Trigon the last season where it was this big old devil type dude. So I'm like, we got to go to a sharpshooter guy. Is this going to be worth it for all the season? So it was nice to see that he likes to play mind games. That was my one highlight. Other stuff, we can get into it, but I feel like it's still kind of lopsided so far. And I want my core 4 back.
Yeah, I agree with you so much on that. And the fact that we have a villain, and I love this villain, and we've only seen, 2 episodes, 3 episodes really, or 2 episodes really of him. It's great to see him so chill, so relaxed, but still making things happen without, like you said, in a maniacal way. And you have the other guy, Dr. Light, is ready to just drink a beer, show his muscles, and be like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to take them down, and da-da-da. And it's just chill. We're going to let them destroy themselves.
Yeah.
And it's funny, we'll talk about it more, but it's almost like he narrated the whole episode.
Yes.
Because he pretty much said how it's going to go down, how they're going to work together and then break up, and we're going to pick the weak link. And not to jump too far, but they picked the weak link.
That guy.
Yeah. So before we get into that, we got to talk about how they got to the fight. Mm-hmm. So we had the old Titans come back. We had Donna. We had Dove and Hawk. We had them all come back. Yeah, Hank come back. And they all came back. And they're not really happy about it, at least not all of them. I was kind of surprised to see how standoffish Donna was, because she was the one asking, they haven't really called me back, they haven't really reached out. And then when she got there, she was kind of more standoffish, I'm not actually going to be here long. What are you doing? Why'd you even start this? What'd you think about that?
I think there's been a push and pull, right? In the last episode, there was this idea of Donna, all of these people are superheroes, right? So it's this idea of they can't stay away from it. So of course, Donna wants to know what's going on there, but then she gets there and everything, she said to Dick, it was there are ghosts here. And we're getting that mystery kind of unfolding. Mm-hmm. So I appreciate that. But at the same time, I do think, where Donna is in her life, she's a photographer, a journalist, whatever, that's what she's doing, that maybe she's moved on from that. What I was surprised was that Hank was kind of gung-ho, when before it was we're done with that. And then he's well, we're back with it. I'm man, that was a 180 real quick.
Yeah, it's not to be too spot on, because they kind of insinuated a lot, but it was kind of like a drug for him. Once he got back in the tower, it was all right, it's starting to feel good again. I'm starting to realize why we did it. I'm starting to realize why the pain was worth it to an extent. Because you see how much it tore on his relationship with Dove, his relationship with Dick, his relationship with everybody, and just his health in general. So it was definitely interesting to see him I don't even know where you call it, in the cave or in the where they,
not the back cave. But
they all have where their suits are supposed to be.
Yeah.
So it was a cool scene to see, but that was one of the things. I don't know where this storyline is going to go because they were kind of teeter on the fence the whole time, and they're season regulars now. So
yeah. Which, once again, like we hinted at, like I love my core four, my Gar, Rachel, Corey, and Dick. And it's nice to see, I feel like those are like the parent and the children duo. And like, Ivan Soto in the comments of our section said, Donna and Dick are like brother and sister. So, I've accepted Donna in a way, but I feel like Hank and Dove are kind of like the cousins that come around where it's like they got their own thing. And like, so it's been... them coming around is interesting. And I like the fact that, if people know the history of it, like our core fours, like originally in other iterations was the original Titans. And now they've kind of switched that in the DC universe, making it so they're not the original, that Hank and Dove and all of them were like the originals. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like you don't know where it's going because they've kind of switched canon on us, y'all. So it's kind of like, I'm like, where is this going? I don't know where Aqualad is, all types of stuff. But I think... it's going to be interesting. I will say I kind of hope they don't stick around for too long because I want my core four for a little bit to get we still haven't established the dynamics between the four. Like that was the issue all last season where it's like, when are we going to see them as a team? And now we have like the extended family.
Yeah. Like the core four is having problems and the extended family's been having problems. Them moding is not gonna work, and Dick doesn't even want them to really mode. He's like kind of like, hey, so they're in the house, don't really touch each, like don't talk, don't look at each other. We're gonna go on different missions. I'm gonna tell you, maybe I might not tell you. Yeah. I'll tell you a little bit. Like Gar, it's like he's like playing the fence, and it's almost like he is Batman 2.0, like I teased at the beginning of the show. He's like, F Batman, I don't want to be part of that, but you're playing the same role.
Well, I think what we've seen also with this season thus far, in this particular episode, there's a little bit more of a lightness to Dick this this season, right? Compared to last season. I think we saw that a little bit more this episode where he's, he's calling Batman. He's like, what did you do? And it's like a 180, which I'm glad for because if y'all remember, I was always kind of like, I'm so tired of brooding Dick Grayson. So it's nice. But at the same time, he, like you said, he's falling into a lot of those things where one, like you said, he kept, and we're, we're going to talk about it a little bit, like the idea of the newer Titans. He was keeping them all separated. And it's more so, it seems like he doesn't want them to know what happened just a few years ago. But it's like, you can't do that. You're targeted for murder. I mean, people are like targeting you, trying to kill you, and you're not letting the rest of them know. Yeah.
And then he let the older Titans know about Rose and how she's the daughter of Deathstroke. And they're like, why are you even letting her come in? She's not coming in. Get her out of here. And he's like, no, this is my choice. I'm doing this. You guys are just here for this one purpose. I'm like, that's that Batman mentality. He's like, no, you're not falling in line or you're out. Like that's what I'm teetering with him. Is like, you're turning more into Batman than it is Nightwing. So we're supposed to be getting Nightwing this season. I feel like we're getting more Batman this season.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the whole idea. Like, one of the things we saw with Titans of they're not sidekicks, they're who they are. And I mean, the thing is, Dick was raised by Bruce. I mean, for better or worse, how people might be feeling about the Bruce we have this season. But like, it's so he's going to have certain ways about him that are very similar to Batman. I do think he's trying to be more of a non-toxic father figure than Batman was with Gar and Jason, and I think he's trying, but once again, he's hiding and running from his past in a way too. And I think that's what we're getting at with the idea of where's this story going?
Yeah, it's like that's the question for a lot of storylines, and it's like the Dove and Hawk, and like where is this going? So that's a great question. But I need the people in the comments because I want to know. I'm really sold on this Batman or Dick Grayson becoming a Batman before Dick Grayson becomes Nightwing. So let me know. We actually know what he's gonna be turned into because we've seen the set photos. But do you think he's going to act more like a Batman in this role in this show? So let me know in the comments because, as always, we always learn from them in the comments. We talk to them in the comments. I love.
Yeah, it's always awesome. Yeah, Chaos 13212, all those numbers. They said in the comments that's that Batman mentality that I hate. Which once, like you were saying, Jeff, like this idea of being secretive, not letting people in, and then Ivan said Wayne is Grayson's father, like son.
Like father, like son, and talking about son, Dick is sunning the new Titans. It feels like, especially with Jason, out of anybody, he's like more hard on him. And for some reason, I feel like he should be the nicest towards him, or maybe more like cuddly. I don't know, because like you see, he's the most like ready to just jump and change on you. I feel like you got to be like kind of soft with that guy, because you never know how he's gonna react.
Jason's a loose cannon, which of course we'll talk about, but he's got problems. So I can understand why Dick is kind of like what to do with this guy. I mean, even Batman couldn't hold him, right? It was kind of like, well, why don't you like take him to the tower? And it's like, so you really just like put him off on Dick as though he's going to, we see where that went this episode. So
yeah, and Dick continues to just leave him out on either information or on missions in total. Like Jason was ready, he was all suited up. He said, "Where are we going?" All the OG crew's here, and he's just like, nah, sit back on the couch or on the bench, JV squad. It's like, you can only do that so many times, and then before he like just goes out himself or goes out on him by himself and get in trouble. And that's what we see he ends up doing. Do you think that Dick is going to learn from this situation, or like how is he going to grow from this?
Dick or Jason? I mean, well,
Dick.
I think with Dick, it's like we're saying. We saw this established in season 1, and we've seen it too. Like he's playing the father figure, right? Without the mother Corey yet, but he's playing this father figure, and I think it's one of those things. I think with parents where no matter what you do, the child may be on a path of darkness. And I think we're seeing hints of that when it comes to the Jason character. That one of the things about being a superhero, and I think we've seen this in, DC situation, even if you're not new to DC, I mean, if you've seen other, even in this show, it's kind of this mantle of with great responsibility, and it's like for someone like you see Hank and Don and others who don't want to rush into being superheroes, right? But they know it's their duty. But then you have someone like Jason who's always ready for a fight. And I don't think that's the kind of mentality. Why are you so quick to want to beat people up all the time, And that's where we're seeing this, disconnect, where it's like he's on a dark path. And I don't think there's anything Dick can learn from it, because I mean, he'd probably have better with his other two kids of Gar and Rachel, to be honest, because I think Jason's kind of broken to the point where it's going to be where it's going to be.
Yeah, I was like, it almost seems like it's just a younger version of Dick. And like, I mean,
I don't know. I don't think it's so edgy.
A younger version, extreme.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Because like I feel like he can find ways of like talking to like, dude, I've been in somewhat of that situation. Obviously, I didn't go as far as just going in front of TV, just flashing, here we are. But he can try and find different ways to like talk to him. And I hope so, because I love their dynamic. I feel like they can definitely bounce off of each other, but it'd be interesting.
I don't like their dynamic. I like his dynamic better with Rachel and Gar. I like that dynamic a little bit better, because I think it's less toxic. I think, and Jason has a lot of hangups with everybody. Like someone just said in the comments, the thing about him calling Rachel a freak because he saw her powers. And I'm like, are you new to this universe? Like, everyone's got powers. You're going to call everyone who has powers a freak? Who does that?
See, I don't like him as a character. I like their dynamic because I like how he challenges Dick. That's what I love about Jason. I love how he challenges Dick, because not really anyone does, unless out of the younger crew. Yeah. Obviously Corey and the other Titans do, but not out of the younger crew. They're just kind of falling in line to an extent. Oh, yeah. So that's what I like about that. But yeah, seeing the dynamic between just the younger crew, like you said, I don't really like how Jason's treating Rachel, treating Gar. He's a lot nicer to Gar, but he's just using them. He's manipulating them. He's like, "Come on, don't tell Dick. Like, let's just do this. Like, we're just gonna look around. We're not gonna do anything." And then shows up in full suit. So he's like playing. He's definitely playing around, playing games. Yeah. So how do you think? Well, hopefully he gets back. We don't want to jump too far. Mm-hmm. Hopefully he gets back and everything. How do you think that dynamic is? Do you think he will become the leader of that trio, or
Jason?
Yes.
No.
You don't think so?
Not at all. I mean, I think Gar, if anything, Gar has shown such a level-headedness, and I'm glad they're giving him this kind of role too, where he's like, and I think Dick sees that by giving him the why don't you do some research for me, because he knows Gar is someone who, like, the Batman mentality of doing research, of finding things out, deducting research in that regard. And I think we're seeing that with Gar, and I think if anything, I mean, just, Gar's way of talking to Rachel, Gar's way of talking to others, I think we're seeing him kind of emerge as a level-headed kind of leader unto himself. And I'm actually very happy for that. I'd follow Gar in a fight quicker. I'd follow Jason in a fight any day.
See, I agree with everything you said. I just don't see people following Gar. I feel like if Jason gets himself together to an extent, good enough to just lead, I feel like they'll more fall in line with what he's doing just because he has more experience. Gar and Rachel look at him for the more talented one out of the group. When they were sparring, it was 2-on-1. So like they still see him as somewhat as a step above. So I'm hoping that he would be leading that group and fall into the leadership role, but at this point he fell into Deathstroke's hands, and that's where we kind of see him at the end of this episode, taking it into his own hands, fighting Dr. Light, and then ending up getting caught with Deathstroke. Like, how do you think that's going to go down?
Well, I think, like you said earlier, that Deathstroke pretty much basically outlined what was going to happen, or more so, he figured there would be roles that people would play, and Jason ended up falling into that role of the person who was going to be the outlier, and so he caught the outlier, and he basically is going to manipulate probably the rest of the cast in that regard. I think, what we saw in that scene with Jason wants to prove himself to Dick. He wants to, and I don't think he was lying to Gar in that regard when he was telling him, I want to show Dick that I can do something well. It's the same way that Grayson felt about Batman, right? Like, he wants to show that he can stand on his own. And I think it's going to be his downfall, to be honest. I think this is just one example of it. I think he'll be fine. I think we'll see him back again. But I think, we can go more into that with predictions. But, like, I just think leading up to that, we saw that he's got a lot of issues, and I'm wondering who's going to be his BFF this season. Every character kind of has that person they talk to. We kind of saw that with Donna and Corey so far. Might be, funny enough, it might be Grayson and Hank who are like BFFs this season. Funny enough, but like I'm wondering who's going to be Jason's like confidant.
I don't know, and for some reason I think it still might be Gar. I think this might like bring him closer and hopefully bring down Jason, or slow him down a little bit. But before we get into Corey, I kind of want to talk about, I had a huge question. It was like, I kind of pushed pause. How was it, maybe it was set up, and I want to get your opinion on this. How is it that Jason was able to take down Dr. Light, but then, what was it? We had the OG Titans, they weren't able to take down Dr. Light because of a bus that was coming. I feel like it just didn't add up. He was able to take down Dr. Light with just him by himself.
I think it was a trap.
You think it was just a trap?
I think it was a trap. I mean, okay. I do think Jason is a very capable fighter. Yeah. We saw that in other episodes. I do think he's a capable fighter. I just think it was a little too easy. If the other ones couldn't do it, and then suddenly, Dr. Light is letting him beat him up. I think it was just a matter of they knew and they were waiting for someone to find.
Okay, because I was thinking it was a setup, but then when he first got there, you see Dr. Light say, "Oh wait, it's just you," or something along those lines, like, "Oh, I was expecting more," or something. I was like, okay, maybe he actually was expecting more and he wasn't prepared for this fight. So yeah. I don't know, but it looks more and more like it was a setup. But talking about setups, we see that Corey was kind of set up because of her former man, person
That's
that
not her man. Dick Grayson is her man.
Exactly. Person that she can't really be with because they're not on the same levels. Yeah. I mean, we're finding out that Corey's the queen, and she's being summoned back by her sister, Black Star, which I think that's a cool name, and I hope we get to see Black Star just because they teased her in that sense. But what do you think about this whole dynamic and how he thinks he can just come over and like, hey, it's time. We need to one person. I'm gonna take you home.
Well, I think it was kind of a callback because he put the meta cuffs on her, which totally like. But the thing is, what was so funny is that even with the meta cuffs, Corey was kind of like, I can still take you down. And we see that, right? Because Corey is a great fighter. I'm hoping we see more hand-to-hand combat with her this season too, because it's not just her power she relies on. But yeah, I think his name was Fadi. I don't know if they actually said it, but in the cast list, his name is Fadi that we saw. And I think he, we saw him reveal that he went there because he figured he was the only one that was going to get her to come back because of, their one night stand.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like he doesn't really know Corey that well because I mean, not saying that, she could hit it and quit it with a guy or something, but I do think it might be a dynamic of she had what she wanted to do. And it was a nice intro of the guy. I'm just kind of wondering what's his role past this point.
Yeah, I think he might be one of those getting from point A to point B type of characters for Corey. And yeah, he was definitely going for the more emotional route, but she even said, "You think you can control me off of one night or something?"
Yeah.
Like insinuating like you're just a friend at this point. We just know each other. Like I know you more from us growing up than that one night. Like come on.
She's like, you're not gonna give me come back.
And then I almost like she was teasing him. She's like, yeah, here, I mean, me and you could have been together back there. We can because we're on two different levels. So it's an interesting dynamic of like, do I really want to bring her back or should I just stay here with her? And you see like he's ready to just break the window and steal stuff for her. So I'm interested to see how long he stays around and if he just wants to stay there with her.
Yeah, I think I do not see good things for this guy. I think he's probably going to get killed. I just don't see it happening. I think it was... One, I'm really glad that we got something that focuses on Corey because I think she was great in all the aspects and roles she played, but in terms of getting the focus that she deserved, this is the first time I feel like we really got that in terms of her history. So I was happy to see that. And I think this character, Fade, he basically played in, having someone to talk to about her homeland. So that was cool. I just don't think that in regards of where they're going to go with it. I think that's also her past, Like she said, she's someone who came somewhere and she was able to fall in love with Earth, which she has, And I don't think her sister has the best intentions, to be honest. Like, why is her sister trying to call her back to rule? Like, what's that about? Like, so I think there's more to the story there, but I'm glad we got some story.
Yeah, I 100% agree, and I want to know why the sister, not the parents, that was kind of weird, because if the parents are around, you'd assume they would be the ones, but the sister is asking, and usually in most royal families, the sister or the brother or sister is usually the one that's jealous because they're not the one in rule. So it'll be very interesting.
And it's a little play on the comics, and this is why it's like, I really like the fact that they're remixing stuff because it's a little different in terms of, I don't know how their dynamic's going to be, their sisters, Corey and Black Star. So it's going to be interesting because I was surprised when Fade said your sister wants you back because not because this wouldn't be a spoiler to say this from the comics, but in the comics, like I think one of the iterations is that Black Star actually sells Corey into slavery, so because she wants to rule the planet. So it's kind of like, where are they going with this if she wants her back? And I'm curious. I think it's going to be interesting. What I will say is I didn't appreciate that when the old Titans got to the other Titans tower and everyone's like, oh, where's Corey? And they didn't even let Dick ask that. He should be the one to ask that because that's her boo. But like, Donna's just like, well, I just assumed she went to Florida. I'm like, what?
I think that was just lazy writing.
Right?
Like, what do you mean you thought she went to Florida? Like, you were with her in a fight, she just dips. Like,
right?
What? That's
like she didn't send you a text?
That's like halfway through the show. I'm gonna just like walk off and leave. Like, oh, I think he had to go eat McDonald's.
She mentioned Florida. What? She's been with you for months, and she just bounced without saying bye when she was about to go get you a taco.
Exactly. She mentioned that she loved Florida that one time 2 months ago. I think that's where she's at. I was like, what? No. Before we go on for tangent on there, I want to talk about family dynamics. Like you were saying, there's a interesting family dynamic with I can't even think, with Corey and Black Star. We're gonna see where that is.
Yeah.
But another family dynamic is with Deathstroke and his daughter Rose. And on the face, they have a bad dynamic because of what Rose has told us. She's like, yeah, I don't really talk to him. That's what years of counseling was. He killed my brother. I'm on the side of she's in there because she's working with her dad. Oh. I've said this on the last week's episode. That was my prediction. I'm still on that, and I think she's trying to point at someone that she can connect with, and I think she found Rachel because of the dad situation.
I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I think so far in this episode, particularly, Rose seemed very much kind of like a lost soul a little bit. I mean, I'm pretty sure she was close to her father. Once again, I wonder what your thoughts are too. We got the saying that, oh, he killed my brother, and I'm like, whoa, so Jericho's dead? You know what I mean? Like what? Like I thought we were gonna see him this season. Like it's gonna be a flashback. Is he dead already? And I do think there was a family rift, and I don't think. To me, I'm getting the vibe in this particular episode, going by this episode, that she is very much trying to find her way with them. I mean, she's angry about her dad, but I don't think she really like that. And I really actually appreciated that talk between her and Rachel. And I thought it was nice because she's someone who is angry at her father, but maybe she doesn't want to completely kill him, but she's also trying to figure out, well, where do I stand in the world? So I don't think she's evil yet. I'm not getting I've been working for my dad the whole time vibe.
It all came in at the same time. We didn't meet both these characters, but both characters became relevant at the same time. It's all very convenient. Yes, it is a TV show, but I want to say that they came in at the same time. And her knowing that her dad is Slade Wilson, how much other stuff does she know about her dad and her dad's history with the Titans? Because she's over there sparring with Dick, talking about her dad. He's talking about his past and everything. Is she there for just recon? So I think she's like I think she's in.
It'd be a great twist. I would be for it.
I think she's in there. Twist. I think she is in deep. I think Deathstroke knows Dick, and he knows that whole Titans dynamic more than he knows anybody else. And he knows that Dick Grayson is the one to pick someone up off the street, and that's what he did. Yeah. It was second nature to him, and he's not going to tell once he picked up made his mind, he's not going to ask anybody else.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I'm gonna marinate on that because
please do.
I think you make a lot of sense. And actually, in the chat, some people are saying that Rose is infiltrating the Titans and stuff. So maybe you all are right. Maybe we can make a bet. I don't know. I don't got no money to give you, but like it's this idea of maybe there is some truth to that. I guess I don't want her to be evil. I just think it would be. I mean, now that you say it kind of makes a lot of sense. So now I'm kind of sad because I don't want her to be evil. I kind of was hoping that she wasn't. Well, so we'll see.
Definitely let us know. If you're watching live, let us know now. But if you're watching later, please let us know if you think she is infiltrating or you think she is just being genuine in the fact that she wants to, or in the fact that she's there and talking her truth. So that'll be interesting. But I'm going to send it over to you. What is our special segment for this show?
Well, the special segment is, that wasn't very smart.
So
yes, that's the perfect sound for it. In this segment, the question then is, as we saw this episode, which character do you think basically wins that quote-unquote award for not doing the most smartest thing? So I'll let you do it first because I have my idea, but who did you think was wore the dunce cap?
So I can't remember his name because I don't think they ever really announced his name, but I'm talking about Corey's guy. Oh man, I think he can just come over to Fadi, yes. Fadi, that he thinks he can just come over to Earth and be like, you know what? I'm going to talk her down. I'm going to tell her that she needs to come back. She's our queen, and I'll talk her through it, and we don't need anybody else. It's like, dog, don't just think you can do it because of one night. And then my favorite part was yes, let's go to your ship. I know I talked you through it. Let's go in. I'm going to walk in first. Quick switcheroo, and then she walks away. She was answering the phone multiple times during their little date and everything. She's not really worried about you. I mean, I don't go on too many dates that I'm just on the phone talking to my other boo and stuff that's not what I do. So that's the one I picked for this one.
Well, okay, so my choice, and let us know in the comments what your choices are, y'all. My choice was basically, it was a tie between Jason and Gar for me. Jason, because I don't know why he thought if the old Titans couldn't bring Dr. Light down that he was going to be able to do it, and it was kind of what? But this is Jason. He has such, what do you call it, hubris? He has such, delusions
Moxie.
Of grandeur. And so I think it was Jason. Although Gar has been great, and I just said he was doing great this season. I also think he kind of did that wasn't very smart by going out with Jason in the first place. Why didn't you tell Dick and the others that you were going to do this. That's what Dick assigned you to, and you let Jason manipulate you. Like, what was that? I think Jason wouldn't have been able to do what he did if Gar hadn't gone along with it. So it's kind of a tie for me.
I gotta agree with you on that one. That Gar, I was like, you said multiple times, a couple times in that little spiel, hey, I shouldn't do this. Yeah, I'm probably gonna tell Jason. It's like,
yeah. And
or Dick, and you're like, just do it then.
Yeah, no. And in the comment section, some of you are saying that Grayson Ivan Soto said that Grayson for actually letting Rose in the tower. So I guess Jeff is with you on that because he thinks she's evil. And Michael B in the comments actually agrees that Jason is the one that does it. And so it seems to be everyone saying either Jason and mainly Jason. So not too many people are with you on Fade.
Yeah, that's fine. My man's is trying hard, and he got put in timeout. So let's just leave it at that.
Oh, well, Ross actually says Jason for trying to swing on Grayson. Okay, so that's for a little. That's
so true.
It's actually very true.
My guy, like Raven said no. She vocally said no. Dick standing right there. He heard her say no. What do you think she's saying no for?
It wasn't even that for me. It was kind of like, I loved it. I actually yelled out loud when that moment happened. I was like, yes, finally. Grayson sunned, as we say sometimes. Like, he basically he let him know, like, I'm the dad in this house. Like, you are the son in this house. And I love that moment because I honestly think Jason needed that. Like, he basically took him down with one shot. And it was also great because you got to see that, sometimes, Grayson, he hasn't been in a suit yet, but you see that he still has so much power behind him, which I appreciate.
Yeah, that's why I want to see more. That's why I love that dynamic. Yeah. Even if it's sunning, I love someone pushing.
I get tired of it after a while, though.
Okay, I do. Yeah. Jason's a lot. I can get tired of Jason, too. But yeah, so I'm going to send it right back to you because we got some news, right?
Yes, we have news and gossip.
Uh-oh. I feel like I need some tea or something to drink. What's up?
Okay, so I got a little tea, so you might be able to sip something. So basically, behind the scenes footage has revealed that the Nightwing suit is going to appear this season. You all have heard that Nightwing is set to appear, and it seems like it is definitely happening. Some photos, 3 photos have surfaced of Nightwing in his suit, Brenton Thwaites in his suit, and basically it looks really cool. It looks pretty much very comic book accurate, which I'm excited about and seeing.
I saw that blue and I was already sold because like the one photo that I saw, it was very dark in the background, but you could see that for some reason that blue was very prevalent in the photo. So that was really cool, and I cannot wait to see Nightwing. Hopefully he acts like Nightwing and not Batman.
Yeah, we'll see. Also, speaking of the big bad of the season, one of the theories going around is, did Deathstroke kill an original Titans, original Titans for the Titans universe? In the sense of, we heard in this episode that maybe it's Jericho that got killed, but also where's all the Titans? Because we saw Aqualad perhaps in the trailer, and now we don't see him. And the internet is abuzz because the next episode we're supposed to see Aqualad, but is it flashbacks? Is it present? Is he coming? Is Aqualad dead? So that's pretty much the rumors that are going on. That's pretty much Aqualad that was killed. And I guess I'm wondering what you think and what others think about the fact that they killed Aqualad so early. He's kind of a hero. So
yeah, because I was wondering. I did literally the same exact thing. I knew that he had killed somebody. They even said it in here where Dr. Light was like, "You got one of them, right?" And like calling him a killer and everything. So insinuating that he got one of the Titans. And I saw that the next episode is Aqualad. I'm like, please don't let this be a flashback, because I would love to have Aqualad up in there. And then even when Hawk and Dove were in the little cave or wherever, you see Aqualad's name is actually on the little bottom, so you see where his suit was supposed to be. So they're doing a whole lot of teasing, and this could disappoint a whole lot of people.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a little disrespectful disrespectful to DC Legends, and to the idea of such a staple type of character that we've had so many years, and you're just like, yeah, he got killed. And it's like, whoa, like, y'all are serious about this. Y'all are creating your own canon, which I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, it's like they're going dark, and like, no, we're gonna go all the way dark.
Yeah.
So.
And speaking of Aqualad, we have Titans has revealed a new look or a new photo of Aqualad, and also you can see Wonder Girl in the photo she's hiding behind. So there's a picture of him that we're set to see next episode, sorry guys. And Aqualad will be played by Drew Van Acker. So that should be pretty interesting.
That's gonna be cool. I saw the photo. It looks really dope. I'm interested to see the suit in action. I'm assuming we will if he's in the suit. And I'm leaving hope out that it's not a flashback, because after all the news, I feel like it might be.
It probably is. Like some people are saying in the contest comments, rest in peace, Aqualad. Man, y'all are brutal. Y'all are savage here.
I just said the show didn't even kill him off yet. Y'all did. Like, we ain't even to next week yet.
Gracie and Ryan said, poor Aqualad if it's true. Yes, I am very disappointed if they kill Aqualad, because, from the trailer, it seemed like he might have a little romance with Donna. So maybe that's why she didn't want to come back. We'll see. But I'm kind of worried.
That makes sense. She was so aggravated about being there, saying you didn't even tell him about the ghost that's in here. So what are those ghosts? And hopefully we find out what those ghosts are next week. But before we get to next week, and we got to talk about predictions. What do you think is going to happen next week?
Now you're AfterBuzz.
I feel every time I hear that, I'm thinking it's like Halloween. But hey, we're almost to October, so this makes all the sense.
Well, I guess I'm with everyone in saying that Aqualad is probably dead. I think that's going to be a thing. I think he is definitely the person who is dead. I am looking forward to Corey coming back to the Titans Tower and resuming her role as pretty much the other leader, the co-leader with Grayson. So I think we're going to see that. I'm hoping we get some Dick and Corey romance, more Dick and Corey romance, because it's already a romance. That's my ship of this show. So I hope we see a little bit more of that. I think we will, because I think there's underlying feelings there for sure. And I think there might be an issue with Hank, somewhere down the line, because, of his addiction issues and stuff. So I think, he seems like he wants to go back to being a hero or a costumed hero. And I think that's going to cause a rift between him and Dove.
Yeah, and I agree with that. That was going to be my main one. I think Hawk is going to go on the deep end. I think he's going to maybe dive into those drugs they insinuated, or definitely dive into the suit that he's been wanting to don so much again. So I see that happening. And then I also I see them seeing Deathstroke in the near future, like the older Titans actually facing Deathstroke and finding out that him and Dr. Light are working together, because they don't really know right now. As far as I know, they're like, hey, we have Dr. Light, we know Deathstroke's in our coming soon, but they're not together. So I see them coming to the realization, like, no, these bad guys are together and they're coming at us. So I think they're going to come to the realization, and it might be next episode, but if it's a flashback, maybe not next episode.
I hope it's not all flashback. That's my other prediction.
Yeah.
Let's hope, prediction/prayer, that it's not a whole flashback episode. We don't have 22 episodes a season. Yeah. So let's not have the whole episode be not something moving the plot line ahead.
It was like facts.
Yeah,
the biggest facts. Because there's shows we can have 22, 24 episodes. I'm cool with a flashback or two. This one we have, I believe, 13.
We have 13 episodes, I think.
Don't give me a flashback.
Let's go
at
with
all.
it.
There's been other shows that do it. We don't need any of that. But yeah, those are our predictions. Please let us know in the comments, what are your predictions for next episode? Is Aqualad, is he dead? Is he alive? What's going on? What do you think is going to go on with all the rest of the characters? Put it in the comments. But before we go, where can they find you?
Well, you can find me on Rotten Tomatoes, as I'm an official Rotten Tomatoes film and TV critic, and also on my self-named YouTube channel where I do horror and dark fantasy film and TV reviews, Twisted Woman CKR.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And if you guys love macaroni or superheroes, or love eating macaroni while watching superheroes, you guys can follow me at JeffWill_Jr. on all your social media platforms, and words are hard. But that's enough words. The show's over. You guys have a great day. And this is the after show for Titans Season 2, Episode 3, Ghost. You guys have a great day.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.